Okay. So, slanted curtain walls, or curtain walls applied to slanted or inclined facades. Okay, so I'm going to do an architectural template project very fast. So the only way to do actually a slanted wall, I don't know if anybody knows, is actually through conceptual masses. There's no other way in Revit at this point. So what you're going to have to do is utilize your conceptual masses, and if they're not exactly as the ones you want, or you want to use their faces exactly applied to your project, you're going to have to return to your conceptual masses and fix a little bit those faces. Okay, so I'm going to just create a very simple new conceptual mass that has a slanted facade. As you know, I'm going to just create a rectangle project. Now this is slanted, it's not curvilinear, okay? Curvilinear is another entire logic. I'm going to create a form. I'm going to select an edge. And let's just imagine that actually I'm going to do it outwards, why not? An outwards facade, okay, like that. I'm going to save the mass. And load it into my project. As you know, always to load a mass in the project, you should do it to the origin point. So I'm going to escape that, go to the side and do component and link it to the center. Okay, I'm going to move the elevation marks, and we have our mass here. So there's a funny thing, if you do a wall by face here, you can apply at the bottom the curtain wall, and sometimes depending on the complexity of the facade, it might tell you, as it's telling me, there's no way I'm going to do that for you. So it's not going to work. So what you need to do is use the curtain system by face. Okay, curtain system allows you to apply a curtain system to a regular or a non-vertical face. So I would say curtain system by face. I'm going to actually edit the type and duplicate it. I recommend you do so as well. New curtain wall. Okay, and I recommend also to start from scratch unless you know the number of grids you want and the number of mullions or the type of mullions you want. So I'm just going to say none, and there's no mullions, so say OK. And then you can select the face and say create system. Okay. At this point, we do have a facade there. We can go to massing inside and turn off the mass, and go to shaded view to see that there's actually a normal glass panel. Okay, so at this point I'm not going to go into details because they're exactly the details we talked about last class. So I'm going to go very fast. Which means what? We can create our curtain grids, and we can start placing our curtain grids any way we want. We can obviously copy them, and start align them at different lengths. We can insert horizontal grids and vertical. We can insert grids that they're all except one segment. Okay, and start cutting. Remember, the curtain grid is the potential for a mullion to be embedded, but it's also a way of cutting a glass panel. And remember, you can select the grids and even delete them or move them freely. You can use these little dimensions to make it exact, the number between one space or another. Okay. You can also select the panel by tabbing and selecting the panel, and remember, you can change the panel type to be a solid, or to create your own panels, or to be actually a wall. Okay. If it's solid, you can always duplicate the panel and make it of whatever material you want it to be. Let's say copper or aluminum. Okay, we can change that material. wants to, and make it aluminum. Say OK. Say OK. So now that's a system panel made of aluminum, and that will render as aluminum, and it will actually count as an aluminum panel. Okay, you can change them and make your own glass, if it's color glass or if it's semi-translucent glass. You have as many materials as you want within the library, and you can always go to Revit-Sig and search for more of them. If you go to materials here, there's actually a default library here that you can utilize as you wish. You can go to glass, for example, and you can find color glasses of many kinds, etc., etc. Okay, frosted, edge glasses, etc., etc. Okay, mullions are very fast because we talked about it last class. A mullion is again is like the metal carpentry associated to a grid, and that it theoretically seals the connection between two panels. Okay, so you will have a mullion in every single grid potentially, unless you want to have a non-mullion condition, which is like just a silicon seal or something. To do so, you just click on mullions, and you can start placing mullions one by one or all together, and you have a set of types of mullions here: 1 inch square, 1 inch by 2.5 inches square, 2.5. You have corner mullions, L shape, etc., etc. These are the default mullions, and what you do is just click on the specific grid or all of the grids at the same time. Okay, and then you get the mullions. But the question remains: what happens if I want to create my own type of mullion? No, we talked about it also last class. I'm going to Control-C this to start again, and what we need to do is a new family of a profile mullion. Okay, I'm going to say Revit, new family. I'm going to go to the families that are starting with profile. There are many of them, and by the way, what I'm going to talk about now is very similar to what if I want a profile for a rail. Okay, in a railing you have many profiles. You can create your own profile for your own rail, or for stair nosing, the detail in front of the nose, that could be also developed here the same way we're going to do it right now. The one we need now is the profile mullion, and the interface, it's an interface closer to AutoCAD, meaning we're going to draft two-dimensional line drawing or polyline that is enclosed. So it's an enclosed polyline. This sets mentions that is the interior. From this line up will be interior, from this line down is the exterior. Okay, this line is exactly the axis of the curtain wall. Okay, so what we do is create lines and draft here whatever curtain wall. I'm not going to enter into details of the shape, so I'm going to do something weird so you understand the logic. Okay, has to be a closed polyline, and you have to save it. You will take this file with you, because it's like a block, or it's pretty much like a family separated from your project. You're gonna load it into the project. I'm gonna load it to the project 1. Okay, and that doesn't mean you can place it as if it's a model. No, it's an entirely different thing. What thing? It's a mullion. So what we're going to do is go to mullion. I'm going to start with any mullion and edit the type. I need to duplicate the mullion and call it weird mullion. Okay, I say OK. I can give it whatever material I want. Let's say it's a material that it doesn't make any sense, like a plastic mullion. Again, does not make any sense. Normally they're made of metal, aluminum, etc., etc. And then under profile, we need to say, hey, what profile should we use? And it's the one we loaded. No, it's called profile, wrongly spelled, by the way. There's a no missing there. Mullion new. Okay, so that means that this new mullion, the weird mullion, okay, is going to have that profile assigned to it. Okay, I'm going to say all grids, and there you have the weird profile. So in that sense, you can obviously go back to this profile and make it a bit more logical, or something that is a bit constructible, no? So you can do a rectangle shape, make sure the dimensions are correct. Okay, you can do your mirroring, you can do your trim. Okay, just gonna do very fast, and you can also create your own type of like shading device. I don't know, it could be an arc from this point. Oops. An arc. I can do a mirror for this, pick the line. I can break this point, as you know, and trim these guys. So it's actually one closed polyline, okay? I can do a little detail curve here, so I can go to the lines and use the fillet option to select these two and make like a nice kind of a curvy detail at the end, no? This could be a beginning stage of a bigger detail that you can draft afterwards on top of it. You shouldn't bring the exact profile of the real aluminum because it's filled with details here and so, and obviously that extruding that is going to take a lot of memory. So you're going to save that and load into the project. In this case, I'm going to override, and all of them should change automatically. You could have the horizontal ones being one type and the verticals could be a different one. Okay, and you can also change the corner by selecting one mullion. You can say make continuous or break. So if it breaks, this one will be continue, but you can select this one and make it break itself, so it will let the other one go through it. Okay, so that's a way of being able to combine both options in any type of mullion, one with a shading device, etc., etc. You can create obviously a section of this. And this could be one of your sections that you create afterwards, a call-out, no, for the detail of how the mullion is, or another call-out for how it meets the top of the roof, or another call-out about how it meets to the bottom, etc., etc. No? Good. I'm going to close this.